Hey guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Manga Mandrew, and I'm here to do my manga reaction to Dr. Stone, manga chapter 230. And this is a chapter that I know that we've all been waiting for. From what I see with the Viz website, we aren't going to be on break, which means that we're going to continue from what we saw last chapter, which is going to be learning more about the Medusa, the Y-Man. So we may get its origins a little bit more in detail, or we may just skip that, or we may not see it, and just dive more into how they're going to actually team up with the Medusas to make sure that, they're able to actually defeat the Y-Man. So let's just jump right into the reaction and see how this is going to play out. And oh wow, we're already starting off with all life must inevitably face death. Oh, so we're dealing with like the idea and the concepts of death and life, and oh, this is going to be very philosophical, isn't it? Oh, this is going to be fun as we get the one image of a dying, rotting tree like right in front of like a new leaf that is like growing, or a new seedling growing from the seed about to take on its new life as a tree. So that dichotomy there. Oh gosh, philosophy is going to be all over this chapter. And yep, we're still in this flashback, and oh, this is going to be so philosophical. And the Y men are no exception. For those petrification devices, oxygen is poisonous. Oh, their mechanical guts eventually oxidize, or in simpler terms, they rust. These lives now fade. Oh! Death is above all else repulsive, terrifying. The ultimate goal of all life is to survive. Oh! Petrification grants them an eternal escape from death's grip. Nothing can be more wonderful. Such was the expectation, and yet they reject the stone. Why? So most likely this is all coming from the inner workings of the Medusa device. And something else that we should realize, that yeah, the Medusa devices, even though they are mechanical, and from what we're getting more of, they are living mechanisms, they also can die from simple rust. Oh gosh, as we get Dr. Stone, Z equals 230. Human. So we're still going through the flashback, so we may not learn more about the Medusas, but they're probably like trying to understand why humanity is the way that it is. It's like the parasites offered the enticing allure of eternal life. For the Y-Man, there was no concept of negotiation, but they employ logic. It seems that particular population is not yet aware of the device's existence or our existence. Okay. It's just like squash, as we're getting flashbacks. 5 meters, 1 second. No! As we get like going back to Treasure Island with that guy being petrified, and it's like the petrifying wave was voice activated via radio waves. Then the same method would be employed at the same frequency with the same voice. When their planet is enveloped, they will know the glory of petrification. Okay. So are we going to get the explanation for how they're able to do this? Oh, 12,000... it's 12,800,000 meters 1 second. Y-Man's message is being spoken with Senku's voice. It's a synthetic voice. Okay. 12,800 meters 1 second. The entire Earth was once again enriched by petrification beam, and the Y-Man felt a great relief. Success, they thought, the planet's most intelligent life form, and finally come to understand the glory of petrification. As we get more flashback to Suika being petrified, it's like eternal life, Y-Man's Dr. Stone. Title drop. Is a taboo not meant for humanity, our own forbidden fruit. Oh. Once more, humanity began exchanging radio waves again while reviving the petrified population. Why? Why do they reject everlasting life? The logic is not apparent. Perhaps the truth is, do you want to die? A vacuum tube for the Medusa. Oh, we're getting the explanation for the vacuum tube. Where is this? The poison is gone. The oxygen has vanished. Mobility restored. Must unleash the petrifying wave to inform the intelligent life forms of our existence. Okay, yes, just as I thought. Oh, just as I thought. Yes, that's something I predicted. Oh, the Medusa device activated itself on its own in the vacuum tube. Oh, and because there's no oxygen, it thought it was safe from rusting. Oh, of course. That wasn't a misfire after all, but rather an intentional act. Right, Y-Man? Accurate. That is. Oh, okay. Yes, yes. Oh, the evidence was there the entire time. As we see that Stanley is not saying anything, as it seems as if something is coming from one of the craters. It's like, great, just 1 point to clear up. Only one? I'm still in the dark with all this stuff coming from Taiju. As you have games like, allow me to summarize. After petrifying the smartest beings in the Y-Man's thought, we'd say, thank you kindly for eternal life. We'll take good care of you now. That was their goal all this time. Yeah. As you have Senku's like, I get it. You want us to use our science to replace your batteries and create more of you. But by stealing humanity in stone for thousands of years, you destroyed scientific civilization, which was key to the whole operation. Why shoot your own planet in the foot like that? As you have him saying, upon arrival on this satellite. Oh, it means the moon. Yeah, satellite moon. Yeah, makes sense. Discovery of abandoned space travel equipment. Implication of intelligent life from that alone. Stone is undone faster by higher brain activity, yet thousands of years to awaken were required. Internal expectation of intelligence were not met. Oh, dang. Anger and ignition won't help us. They're simply explaining the truth in their own way. Okay, so there was like, yo, y'all are able to get to the moon? And like this technology was abandoned? Oh, these guys must be smart. They must all be able to break out of their stone as easily. Okay, he overestimated humanity. But as Senku or Stanley is saying, sure, maybe our science is lagging behind a little. Like, how are you guys defying gravity? How do you float around like that? I don't got a clue, but I'm ready to learn. Oh! Humanity's full-blown scientific civilization is still only a few thousand years old. Our lives may be fleeting, but we've got 7 billion people to pick up where the last folks left off. That's how we make progress at a dazzling speed. On that note, Y-Man, I want to negotiate. Just you and me, face to face. Oh, what is he saying? He doesn't want the rest of the world listening in on this conversation? Oh no, this is not good. This is not good. I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. As you have everyone, you have Geed, you have Yo saying all of this, and you also even have Xeno's like, private talk means that the radio waves must somehow be contained without any leaks. How? And it's like, zoom, zoom, look. Oh yeah, the Medusa device can, oh shoot, I forgot about that. As we see the Medusa devices like covering both Senku and, or not necessarily Senku. Yeah, I think they're covering Senku and maybe not Kohaku as well as Stanley. Oh wow, yeah, it made a big old ball of Medusa devices that are ensnaring Senku. Oh no. Or this is great. Oh wow. Whoa. This is dope. This is dope. The Y-Mans transmit information solely through electromagnetic waves. The device's surfaces absorb those waves, so any transmissions within a sealed sphere would be contained and unavailable to the outside parties. If you guys are willing to lend us your bodies, then we got one real shot at this. It's gonna sound crazy, but hear me out. Lend your bodies? The whole universe had better get excited. What the... He's not gonna do what I think he's gonna do, right? He's not gonna petrify the universe, right? He wouldn't petrify the universe, right? Alright, so I guess it's time to go into review. Once again, very, very solid chapter of Dr. Stone, where to sum up pretty much what we talked about or what we read in this chapter, it was just the philosophical discussion of life and whether or not humanity wants or even needs eternal life, and how, when it comes to logic, how logic from a machine is not the same or will be actually accepted by just how people live and exist in life. So it's very interesting that we get to see more understanding of the Medusa devices and how everything that they have done has not necessarily been through a malice intent, but just through the ignorance of what humanity is and how humanity thinks, and how, as we've seen in our own world, we do things not necessarily based off logic, but in a sense, we're all just Ryusui. We all do things based off our own greed, our own wants, our own desires, and even though we may not necessarily desire death, we do desire freedom in a sense, and the petrification does not allow for that. So that's pretty much what this entire chapter is about, the philosophical ideals of death, and how we do all of these things that just do not compute with the ideas of logic, but what we're seeking is, in theory, illogical, because that's just the dichotomy of humans, the ability to think logically, but want something that is illogical, to want freedom, but through freedom comes consequences such as death. So it's very cool to just dive into it a little bit more, and you could completely make an entire thesis probably just with this concept that is seen in this chapter. But besides that, we got a few pieces of confirmation. For instance, how the Medusa devices can die via rest, which is why they are in space and not necessarily on the Earth. Why, even though they could send a large chunk of them to the Earth, doing so would mean their inevitable deaths, which is why they most likely stay in space. But also just the idea that because they were in the vacuum tube, that they were the ones to set off that petrification wave when it came to Yo and Gin. So that was a piece of explanation that I think I predicted a few chapters ago. So it's cool that we got that confirmation, as well as just having Senku at the end of this chapter wanting to once again have a discourse, have a conversation, have a, what did they call it? To have a, oh my gosh, I can't remember the word. Basically, oh, what is it? Not a discussion, but to have a, oh gosh, this is very embarrassing, but you know what I'm saying. Like, he wants to have like a conversation with them so that he can learn more about them, and how he explains that even though like you may have thought that petrifying us for thousands of years, we wouldn't be petrified that long because we're able to go into space. Yeah, we're still lacking, or we're still lagging when it comes to like technology like that. But if we all work together, we can get back to where we were even faster. So the main concept is also the idea of like working together as humans, we can really accomplish anything. So that was very cool, especially when it came to the last part of this chapter, where we get to see just more beautiful art from Boichi, as we have Senku being covered in a dome of Medusas. And as soon as that happened, I remembered, oh yeah, they can reflect and not be detected by like radio waves, because that's how Stanley was unable to track Senku and the crew when they were heading, or I think leaving Brazil. No, when they were heading to Brazil, heading to South America, they had the Medusas on the, actually no, it wasn't that. They were trying to escape, and they had already reached there, and they were able to put them on so that they could not be detected by sonar. But yeah, as soon as like I remember that, exactly like this happened, the entire dome or a sphere encompasses Senku so that he can talk to the Medusas, and he brings up the universe. So that either means that he has a way of using the Medusas to, in a way, traverse the universe, or he's going to petrify the entire universe. I don't know about that. I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, this was a pretty good chapter of Dr. Stone. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the philosophical aspects of this, even though I'm not really a philosophy person myself. Negotiation, that's what Senku wanted to do. He wanted to negotiate, so most likely he's going to negotiate in the sphere. So one or two things going to be happening in the next few chapters. Either we're going to see the negotiation play out, which doesn't make any sense, because if we were going to hear it played out, then we wouldn't be in the sphere. We would have seen Senku talk about it himself, unless it's a secret plan that only we and the readers will know alongside Senku. Or we're going to skip that conversation, we're going to see the sphere disperse, and then later it's going to be revealed what they talked about. So I don't know. I really would like to see more of this conversation between Senku and the Medusa devices, but hey, we're just gonna have to wait until next week to see how this happens. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about this chapter. Hopefully you enjoyed this chapter. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. And if you did, why not stick around to watch more reviews of my series of Dr. Stone. That didn't make any sense. My reviews of Dr. Stone, as well as my reactions. If you want to see more of this stuff, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can see more content like this. Hopefully you're able to do that, and hopefully I'll be able to catch you in my next video. Goodbye! That's not going to work anymore. Oh well. Bye!